Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chem 1211 with your host, me, Dr. White. How you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming out. And hopefully we'll have a great semester. All right, my name is Dr. White, and I'm a synthetic organic chemist. What does that mean? Well, synthesis is a fancy word meaning to make. In my training, I have a PhD in it, is to make organic molecules, things that have carbon and hydrogen. But this is going to be a general chemistry course, but your instructor knows chemistry and knows it in the real world. Let me give you a little of my background. Got my PhD a long time ago, from Michigan State University in East Lansing, great place. And then for many decades, I worked in the chemical industry, where I was a senior research and development manager at 4 different international chemical companies. I have 10 US patents. I've worked in areas like fabric softeners, molecules that kill bacteria. I've invented also molecules that hold sand together to make the molds for your car engines or other things, and other areas too. About 2001, by then, the chemical industry left Chicagoland, left a lot of the United States. And then I started teaching first at Elgin Community College, which I still teach, and then in 2007 here at College of DuPage, COD. Now, in 2010, time to brag a little, I won Outstanding Adjunct Faculty Year Award at College of DuPage for teaching organic chemistry. And the board couldn't believe everybody hates organic. No, it's fun. And general chemistry is fun too. So I've been doing this for a while. I've taught Chem 1211 a number of times, both face-to-face and a number of semesters on the internet like this. In fact, this summer, this last fall, I taught 1211 online. All right. Now, first of all, this semester, you'll learn a lot about me personally. And the first thing I should tell you is my hearing. I have a major hearing loss. If we were face to face, I'd be wearing hearing aids. I'm not, because I have right above my monitor over here 2 large amplified speakers. I can crank up the volume, so I don't need my hearing aids. However, if you talk softly, or if you talk with an accent, or if you talk softly with an accent, I might have trouble hearing you, and I might ask you once or twice to repeat something. So bear with it. That's my problem, not yours. Now, probably the most important thing I will talk about tonight is the following. In my world, in my class, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I'll say it again. In my class, in my world, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I didn't learn that lesson until my 3rd year in grad school, when we had a postdoctoral fellow in our research group. That's someone who's got a PhD and goes to work for another professor in their research group. While they're looking for a full-time job, they're getting paid. So, and Dr. Larry Plavin, I was giving a talk in our research group, and he asked me, what's the mechanism of that reaction? And I showed him. But afterward, I went up to Larry and said, Larry, we teach that mechanism to undergrads. Weren't you embarrassed asking that question? You got a PhD in organic chemistry. I said, why should I be embarrassed? I didn't know it. I asked you the question. Now I know it. What's to be embarrassed about? And that's when it started getting into my head, which I came up with now, the way I say it. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Always feel free to ask me anything concerning this course. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it. Most of the stuff I do. All right. Now, this is an online course, and one of the important areas is Blackboard. That's COD's computerized system for students and faculty. Now, I should warn you, teach at Elgin Community College, and their system is called D2L. And either live or on some of my videos, I might say D2L where I really mean Blackboard, and usually I catch myself. All right, let's take a look at D2L. And here I've logged in already to D2L. And if I open it up, this is my view. And what I'm going to do right now is go into the student view. This is how you would see it. Now, over on the left, notice this little arrow up and down. I clicked on it with my mouse, left mouse click, and you have various choices. Here are announcements which I make. And then I'll show you this. Here's where the syllabus is you can download. Here will be assignments. We're already some, and I'll talk about this in a little while. Here's course information. Now, in the course information, I have 3 folders. Yes, 3. Oh, by the way, I should warn you. I have a sense of humor, and I use it. Some days will be good humor. Sometimes, well, we all have to suffer through my bad humor. All right. Now here, you'll be watching videos. And in those videos, you'll see I'll have lecture slides. And if I click on the lecture folder, here are all the the actual files of those folders. And I have them as both a Word document and a PDF file. And if you scroll down, you see I have here. Now, there's something I'll talk about later where I have important information about tests and the reviews. But here's this information. Now, if we go back, you'll see practice problems. And here I have, for the different chapters in our book, the practice problems that I have written. And these will help you. And again, I have them both as a Word document and a PDF file. So if you don't have Microsoft Word, or you want to open this up on your tablet or cell phone, you can with the PDF file. I think it's about everybody has PDF viewer on their phones and tablets. If not, you can get it easily. Now here I have, again, the course information. Again, I have the practice problem. Now I also have the answers. We'll talk more about this tonight. Next, I'll talk about later Carolina labs, and these are labs, the virtual labs we'll do later in the semester. There are links to it. I will be having office hours, and I'm going to go through my syllabus in a little while. And here's the login for the office hours in tonight's meeting too. All right. I have both in my syllabus and right here, 1211, and that should be, I got to rechange that to net 02, not 04. Here's the video schedule, and it's also in the syllabus, which I'll cover. Here's my actual link to the YouTube channel. And my YouTube channel, do you know Dr. White's a YouTube star? Nah, not really. But for Chem 1211, I've got 183 videos there. Do you have to watch all of them? No, relax, take a deep breath, but I'll have that. But here's a link if you want to go directly to there. Now, I'll talk about this in a little while. Here and other places I have how to submit tests, quizzes, and lab reports. Actually, that should just be quizzes and lab reports. And something I'll talk about in a little while, Cam Scammer. By the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm a little older than all of you. Was that an understatement? And a couple of years ago, I realized a lot of the students were missing out on some of the good things in life. So I have a list of my favorite music, movies, and books. Now, my real claim to fame is when I was a senior in high school, I saw Jimi Hendrix played live here in Chicago, the only time he did. Best concert I ever went to in my life. Wow, I can still picture it. Great concert. But that, some of his songs and other group songs that I've seen over the years are there. And I have here, for those who want the textbook titles, in case you're wondering. And here's my email address. It's also in there. All right, let's go to the syllabus. Right here, you click on syllabus, you'll see the syllabus here as a PDF file. I'm required in this area only to put a PDF file, even though I do have it as a Word document. And let's go through it. Now, going through the syllabus is not the most exciting. Well, really not exciting, but it's important. I cover certain things. All right, first of all, the course goes from today until the 23rd. I will be having office hours every Monday and Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:30. Unfortunately, this Wednesday, because of some personal stuff that just came out, I won't be able to have it on Wednesday, and I'll send out an announcement. Instead of Wednesday, I'll have it this Saturday at 6:30, same login. Here's the login for the Zoom. You can log in this way, and there are other ways of logging in. Now, if you look up top here, or where is it? Somewhere around, there's a phone number. I thought I have it here. Yeah, I forgot to put it. Oh, here it is. I Zoom a phone number. That's a voicemail box. I don't remember the last time I looked at that. I don't remember the password. I don't check it. I think it's been more than 10 years since I've checked it. But there's my email address. I check my email twice every day, Monday through Sunday. I will get back to you with 24 hours or less for any email that you send me a question for, unless, God forbid, I'm sick or something like that, or internet's gone out. But that's the best way to reach me. Now, when I say I check it twice a day, I start my day early. I usually check it about 6 a.m. and then later in the afternoon or evening, sometimes even later, 7 a.m. All right, now, the next number of pages, all faculty are required to put certain things in there, like the course method, and I'm not going to go through all this. And the topical outline, you can look at this at your leisure if you want to. The active course file. And again, that's something all faculty are required. All right, let's talk about something important, the textbook. I have made it optional. Why optional? For a number of years now in courses I teach, because you have access to my slides, and now this course, my videos, and practice problems and practice problem answers. Students don't need the book. A lot of them have, over the years, I have some extra copies. I lent them out. And within 2 weeks, they always come back to me. And the students say, I don't need it with the way you teach. And students do very well without the book. Now, the one thing you are required to buy is the lab kit. And I didn't put, this should be 2, not 4, it doesn't matter, but it would be Chem 1211 lab kit. And from the COD bookstore, you need to buy the voucher. And that's for Carolina Biological Supply Company. And once you get the voucher, you need to follow these steps right here on page 19, how to redeem your kit. If you have any problems reach out to me and I'll reach out to people I know at Carolina to help you. They're very helpful. One thing I should point out is we've been using this kit for a couple of years. Before that, we used another one and it was awful. I mean, really awful. So this is a pretty good kit. Yes, it costs money, but at the same time, this is an online course. Now, you need to buy the lab kit to do the labs, and I'll explain why. Let me go forward just a little, and we'll come back to this. About a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, the chemistry department chairperson made a ruling for all students, especially those taking internet course with lab kits. First of all, you have to purchase the lab kit and do some of the labs to get a D or better. In order to get a C or better in this course, you have to get 65% of the points. In other words, you got to hand in the labs. And if you only do 50% of the points, you'll earn a D. That's the highest grade, no matter how you do on the test. So this means you have to purchase the lab kit and do the labs. And I'll talk more about it. Last semester, most of my students in the last couple since this rule, they have no trouble doing this. And so it shouldn't be a problem. But you do have to buy the lab kit. All right, next, you'll need a calculator. And I'm trying to see where I hid one of mine. Well, I can't find one. Get the Texas Instruments calculator. They have this dual power, which means it's solar powered and you don't have to buy batteries. Let me see. And here's a picture of it. You can buy it just about anywhere. Wow, Target's got a real sale on $10. But these three right here, don't buy a graphical one like this. Buy these, any one of these. Amazon has it. Wow, they've got it for $9 to $10. Pay more at Office Depot. And I'm pretty sure Walmart has it, and anywhere else you can buy it. Yeah, Walmart, wow, it's more expensive. But this is the one to buy. I will be having one of my videos teaching you how to use it. Again, this is not the most exciting thing going through it. Here we have the academic policy for behavior and honesty. Please read it. If you cheat, I will do what's in here. Here it is, what I'll do. If you're cheating or causing problems, I'll let you know. If not, I'll go to the deans and get their help. Over the years, unfortunately, I've had to do that 3 times with students. They had serious problems that, I understood they had problems, but I didn't want to disrupt the class. Do not cheat, please. All right, this is very important. First of all, see me in private about this. And that deals with special needs students. I have always worked with the Center for Access and Accountability to help meet the needs of any special needs students. And over the years, I've had a lot of them. They've done well in my class. Contact me in private, and I will do everything I can to help you meet your special needs. All right, let's talk about things you're really interested in. How do I get a good grade in this class? Oh, by the way, I should tell you one two important things. One, I teach by my golden rule of teaching. What's that? Well, I don't do to my students what I didn't like done to me when I was a student. And yes, in a galaxy far, far away, I was a student. I remember those days. Number two, Dr. White, me, I'm a very selfish person in one way. And that way is I like things to happen around me that make me happy. I'm very selfish that way. And one of the things that make me happy is to see students succeed and get good grades, earn. That's the key word, earn good grades. And I will do anything I can to help you. The key word is work toward getting the best grade you would like to work for. And I will always help students that way because I'm selfish. It makes me really happy to see students succeed. Last semester, number of semesters. Usually in my class, if students do, and I'll teach you in a little while how to succeed in this class. If you do that, usually 65 to 70% of my students, the key word is earn A's, a lot of B's, but I have had students who fail. And it hurts me to see that, but there's only so much I can do. It's up to you at a certain point to do the work so you will succeed, but I will always help you. So I've structured a course to help you succeed. And because of the rules with the test center that I have to follow, there'll be 6 quizzes. Here are the tentative dates. All quizzes will be online. What you'll do is go to the assignment area Blackboard, and you will download a password protected PDF file. On the day of the quiz, which will be Thursdays at 8 a.m. or maybe even earlier, I get up early, I will post an announcement and send you each an individual email with the password to open that PDF file. You will have from that time until 8 p.m. Friday, that's more than 24 hours, to take the quiz and upload it. Now, I could say, oh, you only have 30 minutes, and take as much time as you want. Because if you haven't studied, you could have 5 hours, and it's not going to help you. If you study, most of my quizzes take about 30, 35 minutes to do, maybe not even that long. All right, now, we'll also have 2 tests and a final, and they will be given this date range from test 1. You'll have this time to go to the testing center at Glen Ellen to take the test. Same thing with test 2. The final will also be given the week of that, and I'll tell more about it. You'll have the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'll send out an email near then reminding you of that, where you'll take the final at the Glen Ellen Testing Center. As I have here, all tests, test 1 and 2, and the final exam will be taken only at the Glen Ellen Testing Center main campus. Now, for this, when you go to the testing center, bring your own calculator, but it can't be a graphing one with the big screen. It can just be like the one I showed you. You'll need a photo ID when you take it, and I'd bring some pencils, and I have one here. One of these good white erasers, not named after me, just the color white. Oh, that was bad, sorry. All right, now during the semester, I'll do a couple extra credit projects. Now here I gotta take this out because the department just recently said I can't give extra, not only I, any faculty, extra credit on tests or the final. So in the next week or so, and usually there's no makeup, but if you have an extreme emergency and it can be documented from usually it's a medical emergency, and a doctor signing it on their letterhead, I will allow makeup exams. Now, points are, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the higher the sum of the four highest quizzes scores plus test one, or the sum of the six highest quizzes, whichever number is higher. That will be worth 52.4% of your grade. My test two is really a final. It's really my final. And that's worth 17.5% of your grade. Now, the final exam is a standardized American Chemical Society test final, which all faculty are required to use for their classes. And it's multiple choice, and I'll get in trouble if I tell you what I really think about it. Nonverbal communication. So I've only made it worth 5.6, which is the minimum I can make it. Now the lab, and I'll talk about that in a little while, is worth 24.5% of your grade, and that adds up to 100. Yay. Now, how do you get a grade in this course? Well, X is the sum of six quizzes scores and not test one. Y is the sum of the four highest quizzes in test one. And Z is the higher total of either X and Y. And the percentage is Z plus, and I found another mistake, that should be test two, plus the final exam score, the lab total points, and the extra credit times 100. Divide that by 560, the maximum amount, you get a percentage. And if you get 90% or more, you get an A, 80-89 70-79 C, 60-69 D, less than 60-59 or 60 F. Now, remember, as I said earlier, you have to buy the lab kit and hand in labs. And you've got to get 65% of the maximum points to earn a C or better in this class. If you got all perfect scores on your test and you didn't hand in any labs, you're going to flunk the class or get a D. That's department. But it's not hard to hand in labs. My labs are not hard to do. You'll see that during the semester. They're good. The kits are. The actual write-up shouldn't take you more than 20 minutes, maybe 25 if you're taking your time. Withdrawal, that's totally out of my hands. The last date to withdraw is 4/19/2025. And the only time over the years I've had students have withdrawn, one, if they move out of the area, and that's back when we were face-to-face, or two, unfortunately, if they come down with something really severe that they have to withdraw. All right. Now, if you disappear off the radar, not completing exams or laboratory reports does not constitute officially withdrawing from the class. You have to go to the registrar's office to do that. Incomplete, if there's some emergencies and it's documented, I will give incompletes. It's rare, but I do. All right, let's look at page 29. Again, this is not the most exciting stuff, but it's important. Here is the schedule of what you should be doing this semester, each week. And we'll have a spring break this week, as it happens every spring. Now, I have videos in my YouTube, and I'm using from 2022, and I think this is a fall semester. Now, in those videos, any announcements about dates for tests, back then I could give tests, or if there were any other things, that's for that. The dates in the syllabus are correct. In the videos, any dates are incorrect, so just ignore it, because this is now a couple of years old. And week one, by the end of this week, you should watch these three videos. These are YouTube videos. You can access anytime you can access the internet and YouTube, you can watch these. And you can watch them more than once if you want. You can binge Dr. White videos if you want. Nah, I don't know about that, but anyways, and this is a schedule you should follow. And this is in the syllabus. All right, let's talk about labs. First of all, you shouldn't cheat on a lab. It's called dry labbing, put down fake data. I can pick that out, and please don't. That's called cheating. Also, these are individual. You shouldn't work as a group with other people. You should be doing your own labs. All right. Again, departmental rules. You have to buy the lab kit. You have to get a minimum of 65%. The way I grade labs, most of my students were getting 85 to 100, almost 100% of the points. So but you got to do them. I have in my videos how to do the labs. So it's just not here, read the instructions, you're on your own. Also, I mentioned earlier, anything to do with a lab or anything else with this class, there's no such thing as a dumb question. You can come to my office hours. You can email me. And one other thing I didn't mention, if you're unable to come to my office hours on Monday and Wednesday at 6:30 because you're working, email me and I'll see if we can agree to a time where I can set up a Zoom meeting between me and you, private one, and I'll help you. That's the nice thing about having access to Zoom, that I can do something like that. And I do, and I have, and I will. Now, each lab will be worth 10 points, and you have to hand in the lab report to get any points. Now, you're going to have 15 labs, and I'll take the top 14 highest scores in case you had a bad lab. Well, it won't hurt your grade. And that will be used to calculate your lab total. Now, you'll get 0 points if you don't hand in a lab. Now, you'll lose 2 points, and I've been pretty lenient on this, but get the labs in on time. Now, if a lab is more than 8 days late, I have here 0 points, but I've been a little lenient on there. People have had problems and things like that. And the lab experiment PDF files instruction will be in the assignment area of Blackboard. I don't have one. Oh, I do have one posted. And this I've got to change too. It should be 14. They added a new lab this semester. It used to be 13 out of 14. Now it's 14 out of 15. And that's that. Now here's the tentative lab schedule. Each week, beginning of the week, I will post that lab and everything you need to know about it in the assignment area of Blackboard. And here's the lab schedule. All right, finally, I ask students to sign what's called a signature, student signature agreement. And essentially it says it's a contract that you have read the syllabus and you understand it's your responsibility to abide by these syllabus, and failure to do so will result in the policies in the syllabus. Also, because of the FERPA law, I'm asking you to waive your FERPA rights. So if your picture happens to be in the video or your name, you've waived those rights so I can post the video on YouTube. By the way, even though it would be nice for our YouTube star, you can look how many views. They're not, I don't think any video has more than 100 views. All right, let's go back to Blackboard for a second. All right, here's the assignment area. The first assignment, one of an important one, is the safety contract, which I need you to sign. This is one of the few things you have to print out. You can print out if you don't have a printer. COD Library has one, and I think some of the computer labs and a lot of local libraries have printers. And you have to print it and upload it to me as a PDF file. Now, if you don't have access to a scanner, there's something called Cam Scanner, and that will help you use your cell phone to take a picture of a document or a couple of pictures of pages when you're doing quizzes and labs and convert it into a PDF file, which you can then upload to the assignment area of Blackboard. Now, one thing I have here, if you get this contract properly signed, this cannot be an electronic signature. You actually have to write it out on the piece of paper, your signature, by this Friday, the 31st, 8 p.m. I'll give you 2 points. So that's that. Now, here's my signature sheet. And if you don't have this done by the first quiz, you'll get a 0 for first quiz. You got plenty of time. Here I have it as both a Word document and PDF. And I forgot to delete these two right here, which I will a little later. And you want net 02. And here's instructions how to upload it. And here's instructions how to find Cam Scanner. Now, this week, we're going to have the first lab, the safety lab. And for each lab, you'll see one that starts with DL, and that's from Carolina Lab. And also in this one, I have some of my own stuff. And then here's the actual lab. And there's a video for you to watch starting at 1 hour and 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this video that will help you do that lab. See how nice I am? Don't tell anybody, I'll ruin my image around here. And that there's a due date for this. If we click on this, it's due by February 4th, 8 p.m. And it's 10 points. And the way to do that is you'll click on uploads, and then you'll have a way to submit a file from your computer. And then you'll click on submit once you do that. And the way I have this set up, if you make a mistake, you can go back and submit something a second or third time. But always keep an eye on the assignment areas here. And these are things you should be looking at for you to do. And you already got stuff to do. All right, I've talked about the videos you should be watching. We're the week schedule. Keep up. You're not going to learn chemistry a day or two before a test or a quiz and do good. Keep up. Now, the question is, how do you do good in a chemistry class like mine? Well, in order to talk about that, I have to talk about bicycles. Bicycles? Yep, bicycles. Let's assume you don't know how to ride a bicycle. First of all, I've been talking for a long time. Time out for water break. By the way, water is a chemical too. It's chemistry. All right, let's assume you don't know how to ride a bicycle. And being the nice person I am, I give you the best Blu-ray ever made on how to ride a bicycle. You got access to a large, high-def, big TV. And for next month, you watch that video over and over again, slow motion, back it up, frame at a time. So you know every frame, every second on that video by heart, but you don't know how to ride a bicycle. What's going to happen the first time you get on a bicycle? Boop, you're going to fall off. And then with practice, you get good on a bicycle. Chemistry is no different. You can watch my videos over and over again. I have where I go through problems like they'll be on the test or quizzes. But if you don't practice and do the practice problems, what's going to happen on a quiz or a test? Boop, you're going to fall off and it won't be pretty. Do the practice problems. If you have any problems doing them, I go through those, some of them in my videos. You can come to my office hours, email me, or if you can't come to my office hours, set up a private Zoom meeting. I will help you any way I can. Now, most of you probably don't remember Michael Jordan back when he was the best and the best of the best, the very best player in the National Basketball Association, NBA. If you're around here in Chicagoland, Dr. White was, you'd see in the newspaper or you'd see on the TV and in the local news, every once in a while they'd have this following story. Michael Jordan is the best, but he's the first on the practice court and he's always the last one off. Why is this player who's the best of the best, the very best, spending the more time than anybody else practicing? Because that's what kept them the best, practice. And chemistry is no different. Do the practice problems. Can you keep a secret? After quiz one, you'll understand why I call them practice problems. I'll say it again. After quiz one, you'll understand why I call them practice problems. All right. Now, another thing, and maybe next week I'll send out a link to it. Many years ago, students in this and the other school, I had a number of students had a problem called test anxiety. They could come in, see me in private, my office hour. This student knew the stuff like that. They were a student. And they sit down in a test and they get test anxiety. I'm a chemist, not a psychologist or psychiatrist, but their brain under stress of the test wasn't working good. Well, Dr. White is creative, and I came up with a method that eliminates test anxiety, and it works quite well. Over the years, I've seen many students going from F, D, or barely C students because of test anxiety to high B and high A students. There's a video I made. You can watch it. You're now my student, so you'll be able to watch it, and it will help. And if you have problems mastering the method, I've tried some names and I've just come up, I call it the method. See me in my office hour private Zoom meeting and I can help you master it. All right. I think that's about it. Well, wait, there's a couple other things. During COVID, when we started on Zoom, when we were having not face-to-face internet, what's the word for that? I can't think of it right now. Anyways, live internet lectures. Some of my students who worked in hospitals, pharmacies, or nursing homes, if one of their colleagues came down with COVID, they would have to cover for them. So I started making the videos, which is what you'll be watching. The other thing I did was one of the finest people, finest, strongest woman I ever knew in my life was my grandmother, Grayman, my mother's mother. What a matriarch, what a woman. And whenever we'd go over and visit her, and I'm Jewish, and she would say in Yiddish to us, when we were leaving, Gein gesund. That's Yiddish for go in health. And with things going around with COVID, I started saying that at the end of all my lectures or any time like this, or you'll see it in my emails. So I'll do it right now. I'm going to stick around for a couple minutes afterward. If anybody has any questions, stick around too. But I'm going to say, gain gesund, go in health. Now, another thing I started doing was back when I was in high school, that was a long time ago, there was one of the most popular TV shows was the Beverly Hillbillies. You can see some of it on YouTube. And it was funny. And at the end, the character who played Granny, when they were all saying goodbye, would go like this. And I stole that. So I'm going to stick around for a while, but I'm going to do an ending for the video. I'm going to say gang gesund. Bye now. Don't forget to do your labs and keep up. Bye.